Morning sun over the garden. An enormous old oak stands at the center, wide enough for a whole family to picnic in its shade. Everyone who's ever sat beneath it assumed it would always be there. Nobody ever thought about what was holding it up. The underground, Rue, an earthworm, unhurried, at home in the dark, moves along a root. "Morning, old friend," she says, warm, a little wry, to no one who can answer. She pauses. Something in the soil's texture is different, subtly, unmistakably wrong. "That's new?" she says quietly. She genuinely doesn't know what it is. There's no form to file down here, so she does what she always does, pushes a small flag up through the soil and hopes someone above will look down. On the surface, Wendell, a tortoise, the park's groundskeeper, passes by with pruning shears. He glances at the flag without really stopping. "Probably just root activity," he says. "Trees do that." He plucks it out, tosses it aside, keeps walking. Below, Rue notices it's gone. She doesn't say anything. She just goes back to work. So she tries again and again. A second flag gets kicked aside by someone chasing a ball. A third, Wendell walks past without even slowing down. A fourth gets quietly buried under falling leaves before anyone passes at all. Below, Rue keeps a small private count. 4, she says, not angry, just tired. She presses herself along a root, feeling for something specific in the soil, her whole body, both her sensor, and the only way she survives down here at all. Above, a single leaf drifts down from the oak. Out of season, nobody looks up to notice. Wendell walks his usual route, directly over the exact patch of ground where Rue is working just beneath the surface. He has no idea she's there. He never has. Nearby, 2 children climb and laugh on the oak's exposed roots, completely unaware of anything beneath them. The oak is leaning, subtly but unmistakably, if anyone were looking. Nobody is. Then, a paving stone near the base of the tree lifts, pushed up at an angle by a root shifting underneath. Wendell hears it and turns. That's never leaned before. He crouches fast to check the trunk's base, and for the first time all episode, he's at Rue's exact eye level. He sees the lifted stone, and beside it, a small pile of pulled, discarded flags, all in the same spot, all pointing here. "How long have you been trying to tell me this?" he asks quietly. "A while," Rue answers, steady, not accusing, just honest. They move fast together. Wendell stakes a support cable, calling for a proper arborist to follow up. Rue directs him from the ground to exactly where the reinforcement needs to go. "What else have you got down there?" he asks, gently, mid-work. Rue allows herself a small smile. "A lot, actually." Later, the oak stand stabilized, a cable visible but unobtrusive. Wendell kneels at its base again, not out of alarm this time, just to check in. A very smart, very old scientist once said, there might be no other animal that's done more to shape the world than the earthworm. Nobody at the park had ever heard that fact before today. Wendell was starting to believe it anyway. Deep underground, near where it all began. It hasn't changed. Nobody has explained it. Whatever got into the ground here, it's still there, waiting the way everything eventually does to be noticed. Rue never raised her voice, never left her post, never stopped trying even when nobody read what she sent up. It took 4 tries and an almost disaster for one person to finally kneel down to her level. That's the whole shape of the episode. Not a rescue exactly, more like a debt finally being paid. The tree will hold for now. The ground beneath it is still keeping its own secret. Somewhere else in Animopolis, That secret is already moving toward a harbor, toward a season finale, toward a story none of these characters know they're already inside. But that's later. For now, one old tree, one small worker, one groundskeeper who finally looked down, and a whole city that's slowly learning the same lesson, one overlooked professional at a time.